I want to start this review by saying that at the time of writing this, I've got an achievement in Highguard for completing 10 matches, and I'm one of the 9.4% of players that did that. Yeah, I didn't say win, I said complete. I feel a little guilty every time I boot up Marvel Rivals, because no matter how good the actual game is, it's a reminder of why studios think they can still take a shot at making a hero shooter, except they never understand what made games like Marvel Rivals, TF2, and Overwatch 1 work. It was the case for Concord, and it looked like it was going to be the case for Highguard, which was the last announcement at the Game Awards, and saying it was underwhelming would be putting it lightly. I, along with many others, assumed this was going to be another Concord situation, another spiceless, generic hero shooter. I think I even said I wanted to kick it in the shins or something. I'm waiting for Highguard to release so I can kick it in the shins for being a waste of a talented dev team. The game looked bad, but like I said before, I go into everything I review with an open mind, and I found that I didn't hate Highguard as much as I thought I would. The game still sucks, but, it's not Concord levels of terrible. For starters, this game is free to play instead of $40, which instantly gave it a higher chance of succeeding. Highguard is a game where I like the idea more than the execution. The game is structured in 2 teams of 3 who each have a base with weak points that need protecting. Players first have to fortify their base. I say fortify, but really the best you're doing is replacing walls made of toilet paper with walls made of cardboard, and then head out into the giant map to find gear and supplies before a sword spawns on the map, which allows you to raid the other player's base and vice versa. I actually think that the game has a pretty strong base to work off of. Now allow me to explain everything wrong with it, starting with it being 3v3. This is the type of game that should have armies of players going up against each other, but the giant maps and small number of players means that you'll spend most of your time looking for someone to shoot or doing that terrible rhythm game mining. Speaking of shooting, people online seem split between whether they like the gunplay or not. I definitely lean more towards the latter. While the guns themselves don't feel bad, the real issue comes from the shields everyone collects. I don't know what they did to the shields in this game, but you have to spend centuries mag dumping someone before they go down. I also heard online that people were having trouble with the game's performance. I don't have the strongest PC, but it can handle pretty much anything I throw at it, and I didn't experience any frame dips. Now the crashes, on the other hand, every time I would boot up the game or end a match, there would be about a 50% chance the game would just die, which honestly might have been a warning. And as for network issues, early on when everyone was hopping on to see what the game was about, the game would constantly kick me out due to a server issue. But now it's the complete opposite. I've had several matches where I couldn't find enough players to start. This is another issue of the 3v3 format. If one person leaves the game or disconnects, you're basically screwed. If the game was, say, 15v15 or 20v20, then losing one player wouldn't be as big of a deal, but 3v3 puts you at a massive disadvantage if someone leaves for any reason. I just realized I've gotten pretty far into this review of a hero shooter and I haven't talked about the heroes yet, and for good reason. Not only are these designs terrible, again, not Concord level bad, but still, the abilities they have are utterly pointless. I quickly figured out that the only character whose abilities actually affected whether I won or lost a fight was the ice guy, who can form an ice wall for cover and turn into an ice hulk. Any of the other heroes' abilities just felt like they did nothing. But I think the worst aspect of the game, and the thing that's hurting it the most, is the visuals. The dev team says they don't want to be compared to Concord or Overwatch, to which any sane person replied, then why did you make it look like this? It's the most generic looking shooter ever, like Apex Legends with a fantasy coat of paint. I guess that makes sense considering this is from the creators of Apex Legends. I know the trailer also said Titanfall, but there is no Titanfall DNA here, and I know that because Titanfall was fun. And I think that's the ultimate takeaway here. Highguard isn't fun. It has the potential to be fun, if they fixed gunplay, visuals, annoying and pointless mechanics, technical issue, everything. It'd be better if they fixed everything. It really is a shame because I could see a world where this is a good game. It still could be after a few updates. Well, minus the visuals. It would take quite a while to fix that. But overall, my advice is this. Wait a couple of months to play Highguard, because by then, it'll either be better or it'll be dead. That's all I got for now. The next review should be Cairn, so if you're interested in that, then be sure to like, subscribe, share with your friends, and hit that bell icon to be notified for whenever I make a new video. And if you played Highguard, then let me know what you thought of it in the comments. Okay, that's it. Bye.